All right, today, EllRay Jakes Walks the Plank by Susan Warner. On Friday, we were in the middle of Chapter 7, a little extra vacation, when the fire drill occurred. How was that? Just a drill. Just practice. We always want to be ready for everything. So let's go to our thinking. What are we going to be thinking about while listening to EllRay Jakes Walks the Plank? We are thinking about making a picture in our mind. We are thinking about making a picture of what's happening. So it could be like our own little movie about what is happening in the story. So the last thing we knew, it was the first day back after spring break. It's a very long day. It was a long day because they had the news of Zip not making it through April vacation. They had been distracted by it. Even Miss Sanchez was a little disheveled, meaning like a little messy. Her hair was a little out of its bun, things like that. Miss Sanchez has decided to toss out their schedule for the rest of that afternoon and take a little extra vacation on Treasure Island. Treasure Island. Miss Sanchez has been reading us a book called Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson on Friday afternoons. I think it's the first pirate story for children there ever was. She told us before she started. And even though this book was written more than 100 years ago, it's still very cool. In fact, it is a hard book to read alone when you're only 8 years old. It has been hard for me anyway. But the thing about books is that you can skip over the hard parts and still get the idea. Is that good advice? Skip over the hard parts? You might skip a little of the hard parts, but you should go back to figure out when you are thinking, did I make the right decision in my mind? Do I know what's going on? Is the story clear? Time changes when Miss Sanchez starts to read to us, and we change too. Emma and Anne chew on their knuckles during the scary parts, which so far is most of the book. Fiona bites her lip and draws pictures of whatever Miss Sanchez is reading. Fiona is the shyest kid in our class, but she's a really good artist. Stanley closes his eyes, and Jared and Kevin look at nothing, but they tilt their head like they're listening in on someone. And even though some parts of me notices the other kids, all I'm seeing is Jim Hawkins, the boy in the book. I think Jim Hawkins is pretty much like me, only white. Well, maybe he's white, who knows? And he's a few years older than I am, and probably taller. Most kids are. But differences like that don't matter. No, not with books. I really like Treasure Island. In fact, I like it so much that I took it home over spring break. Because aboard the ship Hispaniola, Jim Hawkins had just overheard Long John Silver, who was supposed to be the ship's cook, say he was going to kill everyone on the ship who wasn't a secret pilot. Pirate. I couldn't wait a whole week without knowing what was going to happen next, could I? How was I supposed to sleep at night? So I asked Miss Sanchez in a quiet voice if I could borrow the book over vacation. And she said yes. Which is why Treasure Island is sitting right next to my bed on the table at home. Do you guys get what he just told us? They're at school. They're gonna go outside to read Treasure Island. The teacher trusted him 2 times. Once with Zippy and once with the class read aloud. What if one of you wanted to take the book home? What would I say? Why would I say no? Raise your hand. Why would I say no? Laura, what do you think? Well, I'm sure you're all responsible. But what do you mean, what if you weren't responsible? What if, what? What if you broke the book? Then the teacher can't read it. Or what else could happen? What if you, go ahead, Kaden. What if your dog chewed the book that the teacher's reading to the class? What else, Isa? What if you spilled a big food on it? Ah! And then it became stinky with tomato sauce, meatballs, and milk. What else, Ferris? What if what?
What if you're eating dinner when you're eating water on it?
I know, because you guys probably do that. You go home and your mom and dad, they say, do you want dinner? And you're like, yeah. But you're reading because the book is so good. And you spill all your water on it. Or you bring it into the bathtub with you and accidentally bubbles get all over it.
Or if you have it next to the sink in the phone.
You're going to raise your hand, right? Isaiah.
What about your mom, you accidentally leave it on the oven and
What if you accidentally leave it on the oven and the mom turns it on high?
and then fire the house
And the whole house goes up. No, let's not go there. Stop. What if you're brushing your teeth and you're reading at the same time and you sneeze? Yeah, but it came out of your... All right, so anyhow, we get it. The teachers usually don't let the kids take the read aloud book home unless they have a backup. Let's see what happens. That's right, I forgot to bring Treasure Island back to school today. It was kind of busy with a couple of other things, remember? Let's see, where could that book be, Miss Sanchez says, thinking out loud as she searches her shelves. Wriggling around, my class makes an excited rustling noise that sounds like the wind was blowing through trees, branches on a stormy day. Kids are silently high-fiving each other. We're going outside. In this piece of surprise good luck being read to on a Monday afternoon instead of having a spelling test? Best news ever. But of course, I sat frozen in my seat. Where did I put that book, Miss Sanchez asks herself, tapping her chin with her solid gold pen. Oh, she says all of a sudden and takes a quick glance in my direction. Don't tell, don't tell, don't tell, don't tell. I think as hard as I can, hoping the words will somehow jump into Miss Sanchez's brain, because this would be one bad thing too many on this day. One bad thing too many for the kids in my class to forgive. Ever. Even Kevin and Corey, they will be ashamed they know me. Killing Zip, the class mascot, and messing up the surprise story time. No way. I feel like I'm about to walk the plank. I guess Miss Sanchez gets my silent message because she says, oh dear, I must have left Treasure Island at home. Ha, silly me. Sorry, everyone. I guess we'd better take that quiz after all. Oh my goodness, just a short, fun version of it though. Thank you, Miss Sanchez, I think. First, thanks for not telling anyone that Alfie killed Zip, and now thanks for this. No, wait, Cynthia Harbinson says, her eyes getting skinny. Can you make your eyes skinny? Why would you make your eyes skinny? Sometimes you make your eyes skinny when you're thinking about something and you're going back in time to think about it. Her eyes get skinny when she goes back in time inside her head. Treasure Island can't be at your house, she says. Miss Sanchez, because EllRay borrowed it. Don't you remember? Right? Before vacation? Duh, she remembers. Cynthia actually smiles like she expects to be congratulated. And all of my good feelings crash down around my feet because Miss Sanchez might be willing to pretend to forget something to keep a kid from being embarrassed in class. But she's not the type of person who would ever tell a lie. Not once someone else remembers the truth. Oh, yes, she says, sighing. Can you guys sigh? Oh, yes, she says. Oh, my goodness. Can you see this plank? Oh, my, she says, sighing. Billy, EllRay, do you have it with you? Nope, I tell her. Do you have it with you? Nope, I tell her. And everyone else, sorry. Well, that's okay, Miss Sanchez says in her nicest voice. In fact, it's perfectly understandable. You had your hands full. Anyway, we're running too short on time to do the book justice. Yeah, now we are, said Jared Matthews, mumbling, giving me a dirty look. Oh, man, Stanley says, looking like someone who just stole his lunch. Corey and Kevin stare at me and then look away. As if they are trying to remember why we are even friends. But that means there's no time for the spelling test either. Miss Sanchez tells us. Her voice is bright. I guess by saying that, she's sort of forgiving me. And giving everyone an invisible present to keep them from hating me. The buzzer's about to go off, Aunt Pat says, sounding gloomy, and she puts her hands over her ears in advance. Annie Pat has very sensitive ears. Any second now, Miss Sanchez agrees, aiming her tired-looking smile around the room. So I want everybody to go home today and get a good night's sleep, because tomorrow is another day. Thank goodness. Dun, dun, dun. Whew. A lot went on there with him having two things go wrong on the very same day they came back from vacation.